Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the Elfz Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Yes, we are a bunch of wild and crazy Browns fans. This is the Fanatical Elfz Network, and it's a Thursday night, and like Steve says, where else would you like to be? Watch us, listen to us. We are the crazy Fanatical Elfz, and welcome aboard. We are some diehard Browns fans, diehard Cleveland fans, and we are happy to be here to provide a brief moment of entertainment and make you smile. Who knows? Welcome, Noah. Welcome, Sam. And welcome, Steve. Noah, start with you down there. You're not down there. You're up in the East Bank of Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a cold one today. We were blessed with some 70-degree weather. I was actually up in your neck of the woods on Sunday for the Arnold, the powerlifting convention, and it was like 75. It was beautiful, but we're 40s, 30s now again, and I'm ready for that summer weather.
Well, welcome aboard. We were just talking off air. Noah is a College of Wooster graduate, and I happen to take some of my students today from Licking Heights over to Denison, the Big Red, which, yes, Noah, if you're watching on YouTube or the X, is the arch rival. They're arch rivals. They fight for football prowess. What's the conference there between the College of Wooster and Denison?
The NCAC. It's John Carroll just joined us. Hiram's in there. You have OWU. You have DePaul, Wabash.
DePaul.
Yeah,
DePaul, Greencastle, Indiana. I had a friend that went to DePaul.
Same here.
Yeah. Sam, how are you up there or down there in the great state, the Lone Star State of Texas?
Yeah, it's been raining the entire day. It's been just wet and rainy outside. It's weird because Texas rain doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because it'll rain for about 4 seconds. It'll dump about 150,000 gallons on the floor and then just stop for 6 hours and then start over again for 10 or 15 seconds and then just stop again. So it's pretty rare you actually get a consistent amount of rain. But yeah, it's just been rainy and bleak outside.
Sam, I think you have a future career in being a stand-up comic. Okay, back to you, Noah.
What's the temperature down there, Sam?
Oh boy, like 74.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
Well, it was like 95 like 2 weeks ago, so
yeah, I really don't feel bad for you with the 30-degree and the 40-degree stuff I got to deal with up here right now.
Hey, Steve, is the weather better where you are?
Your typical Nashville March, 58 degrees, up mid to upper 50s are your highs, and cloudy all day. The sun was supposed to came out. It came out for like 3 seconds. And we're going to get some of that rain from Samuel here tomorrow.
I was wrong, by the way. It's 58.
What is Samuel?
50.
Tell me. I've been so out of the loop, and I'm a weather geek, and we're talking weather, but we are a Browns podcast. We'll get to the Browns here in a minute.
Yeah, that's true.
I was wrong. It's 58.
Yeah, weather is important in football.
Exactly.
But it's
anyway.
It's the off season, folks. It's March.
Yes. It's March.
Hey, we want to, again, if you are watching this, great. Thank you. We really need you to, we need to spread the love and follow us. Go to Apple, go to Spotify, click on us, download us, subscribe us. That's where we make the big bucks. We're going to make pennies right now. And it's all because you are dialing in to Apple and Spotify. So make sure you listen to this audio version for us. Listen to those fancy dancy commercials too. Yes. Noah's joined us with his new East Bank show with his buddy Matt. They're doing an awesome job. They got a big show coming up this weekend. He'll probably give you a sneak peek on that toward the end of this show. Sam, the man up there with the awesome looking Texas hat there, bringing his Browns breakdowns every weekend. And of course, Steve over there brings the Dog Pound South shows that it just, just a great amount of knowledge coming from Steve, and he's steady Eddie and keeps everybody, moving forward in the right direction. He's best friends with Andrew Barry. He is a tax man, and he knows everything about money. So
I'd love to pick his brain over lunch, man. I would go crazy.
So what celebrity? We were talking about this. What celebrities? Like what? Give me a celebrity, maybe a local or somebody Cleveland related that would be pretty cool. I know you work with the Cavs, so Andrew Barry, comes to mind.
My mind always goes, and maybe it's growing up in that era, LeBron James, just being the face of Cleveland for so many years, off and on, hated him, loved him, just to sit there and pick his brain over a nice T-bone steak and talk and figure that out, all of his mindset, his processes throughout his years in the NBA. I feel like there's a lot to learn there.
Yeah, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I see these Draymond and Green commercials where he's driving in a Kia, and holy crap, I just want that Kia to drive off the face of the planet. That moron just makes me sick. So
never liked him.
No. Sam, who would you want to meet?
Oh man, I don't know, but everyone. Is that an answer?
Everyone.
All of them.
Fun.
All right, Sam's going to a banquet.
No, I don't know. I think they're all pretty cool. I think it's too hard to choose.
Hey, we want to thank you. I see that there's 89 of you watching us right now,
90,
which is I think
wrong,
like 91.
93.
93. Holy crap. We're going to break records tonight.
Oh man, I'm glad my family could join us.
Subscribe to our audio, Apple and Spotify. Hear us clearly.
I want to football. Come on.
Slowly. Okay, let's talk football. All right. Free agency. It is frenzy right around the corner. Where are the Browns? Give me your thoughts. Steve, we'll start with you since you're the free agency guru with the money and everything. Who are you looking at right now? Who do you think the Browns realistically are targeting as we get into it? And like we said off air, and we've all talked about this, all Browns fans anticipate this. Andrew Barry makes a splash. So where are we going with this?
He did in 2020 and he did last year.
106, folks. Change? Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, go.
So what is their weakest position? It's defensive tackle. Right now it's defensive tackle. They spend more money on their offensive line and their defensive line than any other position group. So got to go after a defensive tackle. Who do I want? I'd love for them to sign Chris Jones. Is that realistic? I don't know. So then you got Christian Wilkins, which is getting a lot of smoke right now. And I'm hearing where there's smoke, there's fire. He's going to command like about $20 to $22 million. So if you sign him, you're not going to be able to sign Zadarius Smith.
Right.
So they're going to have to find a veteran edge.
Okay.
To go with it, because Jim Schwartz loves rotational guys, and they could still pick up maybe Shelby Harris or Mo Hurst as rotational guys. But I think that's where Andrew Barry's going to go first, is defensive tackle. And man, if he can pull off a Chris Jones, I will send him money. I mean, come on. But I'll take Christian Wilkinson. And Daquan Jones is another guy you can look at.
So
who else? DJ Reader. I'm hearing a little bit about DJ Reader as well, away from the Cincinnati Bengals. He would only cost you like maybe a 3-year deal, $15 million a year or something like that. So that's not that expensive. So
128. Come on, folks, keep tuning in, man. We're up to 128.
And if they sign Zadarius Smith, they could go after somebody like Tahir Tart or Fletcher Cox. For maybe a 1 year deal, $7 million.
I thought he was retiring. By the way, we might give away some free stuff if we can get over 200. Come on, folks, tune in. Free stuff, man.
Free stuff.
Come on now, tune in.
Great.
But that's who I think they're going to go after first.
Okay.
And maybe a trade. You never know. Because last year they did the
So
Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah.
And then you had the Juan Thornhill.
Yeah.
And then they traded for Zadarius Smith.
Elijah Moore, right?
And then came Elijah Moore later.
Right after the draft.
Yeah, that's right. People forget that. That's true. Good point. Noah, what are you thinking right now? Free agency. And we'll talk trades here in a sec.
So draft-wise, I like a lot of the defensive tackles in the draft from my research that I've done. One guy who got cut in, the franticness of the combine is Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker and the Dolphins could not come to terms on a deal, so they're letting him go. The Ohio State guy, I'd love for him to come up. He's a Cleveland native. Linebacker, add to that room. I'm sold on it. I know the money, and maybe Steve, you can jump in on this. What would the money for that look like? I know he'd probably have to restructure a lot and that kind of thing to get that money on the books, correct?
Well, you're going to have a JOK extension.
Right.
And you're looking at possibly 3-year, $30 million for JOK. Traditionally, Andrew Berry doesn't spend money on linebackers. I think on average, since he's been GM for the entire position, they spent like $7.5 million for the entire group.
Really?
So I can't see. I can't see Jerome Baker. Now I can see the JOK. I can see them re-signing Taki, and then going after.
We just got to keep Taki for his name. That's why I want to keep him.
I know. I love it. Vet minimum. Somebody like, I don't know, Al Shazier, Willie Gay, Nick Morrow, Zach Cunningham, Denzel Perryman, somewhere along those lines.
Sure.
Personally, I kind of like Zach Cunningham.
Okay.
I don't know why. He's a middle linebacker, and they need middle linebackers.
Are you moving away from Anthony Walker then? Are you done with the Anthony Walker in Cleveland?
I kind of am done. He's injured the last 2 years, getting up there. I love the guy for his locker room presence and the way he is with the guys on the team. But this is the business. This isn't a popularity contest.
Yeah,
right.
So
hey, keep watching. 145, man. It keeps going up. Come on, 200. Okay.
But then those are the two groups that they need the most attention: D line and linebacker.
Okay, Sam, anywhere else that besides those positions that you think the Browns might look at in free agency?
Oh man, I think honestly, D tackle and linebacker are basically the two positions they need. I don't think we need much of anything else. I think D tackle will probably be the number one target. I still think our running defense, middle, whatever. I could have probably formulated that sentence a little better. If that was, I think that's our main target. I think linebacker will be important, but I think the Browns might go secondary and get another person, or maybe someone like not Jamal Adams, but someone like a player who is older, who's like 31, and has a veteran. Can maybe talk to these secondary players and get them into a feel of.
Can they talk Greg Newsome into starting to play football better? I hate that guy.
Yeah, but like just someone who can, just a mentor, basically, just someone who can get in there and just talk to the players, because I do think that has an effect, especially on younger players. But I don't think the Browns have a whole lot of like a wide list of players. I think there's like 2 or 3 spots that they need, and that's about it.
151. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. Come on now, tune in.
The talk in Cleveland and from Browns fans, of course, is backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing is Flacco, sure, he'd like to start. Yes. And there's plenty of opportunities to be a bridge quarterback. But his family really loves Cleveland.
Yes.
And his family doesn't want
Who wouldn't love Cleveland? Come on.
Well, exactly. His family really doesn't want to move
Noah
from Cleveland.
Lives on the east banks of the flats, man.
I just redid my list today. I'm taking another year
160.
downtown.
We're moving. Come on now, 200.
So if they want to get him in the barn, as we say down here in the South, they probably already worked up a deal, and they won't talk money until after Monday, but a handshake deal. I'm thinking it's going to get done. And the other position, which is going to tell the Browns fans a lot about Nick Chubb, is what kind of veteran running back they sign. If they go out and get DeAndre Swift, if they get DeAndre Swift, that tells me he's not going to be playing when the season starts in Brazil. But, so.
I had a nice conversation with a fellow Browns fan tonight who's already booking his flights for Brazil. He's guaranteeing that's where the Browns are going to be playing.
I think it's happening. I really do.
I have some inside sources, and I'm not trying to act like that right now, but just from working at the Cavs, I feel like 80% confident the first is going to be in Brazil from what I know.
Yeah.
I've been told that we were going to get
Brazil. Here we come. You heard it here on the Fanatical Elves. We're all going to be down there. We'll be broadcasting live, and we'll have free stuff. Come on, folks. We're at 167. Bring it to 200 now. Come on now.
I don't know if I can do it live. My Portuguese isn't up to stud.
Well, I will be in Portugal at spring break, so I'll have to I'll have to go to Brazil.
Get a little primer going there, Jack.
That's right.
It really makes sense because the Browns haven't played away from the United States since what, 2018? They were supposed, or 2017 when they played the Vikings. They were supposed to do it in 2020. COVID shut that down. Yeah, it just makes perfect sense.
Yep. So 80%. Noah, what's your inside scoop? Can you tell us? Or you have to keep that on the down low.
I'll keep the cards a little close, but I know someone that is a part of the entertainment team over at the Browns, higher up, that has been telling me since about October that we should be getting a foreign game of sorts this season. That is the rumblings within.
Okay, there you have it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Speaking of the Cavs, I just want to stop for a second. I know we're Browns. We're going to keep going here.
Here we go.
Dean Wade, my buddy, my pal, congratulations to the greatest player of all time, Cavs uniform. For one moment in time, for 8 minutes, he put the Cavs on his back, scored 20 points, didn't miss a shot from the floor, and sit your ass down, JB. Sit your ass down. All right, I'm done with my rant. I'm happy for Dean. I talked to Dean's coach, JV, high school and junior high coach all the time, and I even texted you, Noah. That third quarter made me so mad. I texted you. And then look what happened. You know,
the Dean Wade career game. It was beautiful to see in person. We were wrapping up in terms of work. We were putting away banners and flags and all that. Wow. And all of a sudden it was, everybody get to the tunnel. We might have flags. We might have this because Dean hits 3 threes in a row or whatever it was. We go from down 22 with 9.5 minutes left to within the game.
Yes.
And win the thing.
He scored 20. They were down 22. It was a highlight of Dean's career, and I hope he has more, but it was a great moment. And to top it off, Travis Kelce and the Kelce brothers are there. Dean's a real fan of the Chiefs, and maybe one of the Kelces will come back, or Travis will come back to Cleveland eventually and play for the Brownies. That would be a dream come true, right, Browns fans? Hey, let's pause for a real quick commercial break. This is the Fanatical Elfz Show. We'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for joining us, you 179 people. Lord have mercy. We love you. We're almost there, folks. We need 200 of you. We need 200 of you to come follow us and then subscribe to us. Listen to us again on repeat on Apple and on Spotify, so we can go home, get our $10 and have a Happy Meal from McDonald's. Thanks.
Yay. Browns fans love free agency.
Free agency is like it's a euphoria moment. You know, Browns fans have really kind of warmed up to it. Andrew Berry has been doing a lot of these wonderful sort of things this time of the year, so it gets everybody hyped, gets you all kind of ready for the actual season, which is still months away, but it is something that we can all look forward to. Anything else before I want to talk? Well, I guess one of the things I want to talk about is Flacco Mania, Joe Flacco. We talked about him a little bit. Steve, you touched about it.
I think it gets done.
Yeah,
I really do. I don't know why. I think it gets done.
There's so much smoke there.
The
last couple days, it sounds like what you were saying, Steve, where there's already a handshake behind the screen, and Monday at noon, it's here.
Okay. Yeah. I know Lou, one of our colleagues, who's bringing his Burning River Browns talk daily. Thank you, Lou, for doing that. He was questioning Flacco coming. Didn't know if that would be totally necessary. You know, he's 39 years old now. Do we really want an aging quarterback like that as a backup? I say hell yeah. So I'm like, he brought Cleveland some amazing moments last season. I think that the Browns and them have this mutual agreement, like you said, behind the scenes. So I'd be all for it. Sam, what do you think about Flacco coming back to Cleveland?
Okay.
190, folks. 190. We need 10 more of you. Come on, man. Tell your friends. Tune in.
I really don't care what he does. I think he was good, but
Sam.
I think it would be best if we continued to try and utilize Watson. I think maybe putting him on the roster isn't a bad thing, and having him be the backup. And if Watson is incapable of actually being a half decent quarterback, just put him back in. But I still think I think this is Watson's last year. I think we just need to utilize him one more time, and just see if he can work something out. But if he's unable to do anything, if Watson either gets hurt or just sucks, I think having Joe Flacco there would still be a good idea.
See, Sam, this is what I'm talking about. Like I see Noah and Steve kind of shaking their heads, and I agree that, okay, Deshaun's not going anywhere, but Sam brings back this reality. I think it's true. Like, if this, I know what the contract and all this, but if he stinks up the joint again or gets injured again, how long are we going to continue down this path with him?
How did he stink up the joint? His last 3 starts, he was 3-0 with 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a QBR of 103. Oh my God! That's
the Ravens game. The second half of the Ravens game, he was perfect with a completely messed up shoulder that none of us even realized until after the fact 3 days later.
Exactly. Come on. First of all, Flacco's gonna sign as a backup.
Okay.
That's all it is. He's going to be a backup. My only problem with it is, what do you do with DTR?
Yeah.
The Browns traditionally carry only 2 quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. That's just, they always carry 2 quarterbacks.
195.
Do you think you're going to slip DTR through waivers at the end of this year? Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So that's my only problem with it.
I can give my 2 cents here, because there was an interview, and I don't know exactly what it was, where Barry said traditionally we like to have 3 quarterbacks, right? Whether that be 2 and 1 on the practice squad, which they've done for a majority of the time. I think if you're in a situation where you have DTR, you have Joe Flacco, obviously Deshaun, they're going to keep the roster spots for all 3, especially because they were using DTR in these packages for, design QB runs and stuff after he came back from that hit in the Denver game.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'm all for keeping 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And if they go that direction, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Well,
they probably have to pick somebody, depending on who they sign.
Right.
I mean, if they get a really good veteran swing tackle, instead of going with 10 offensive linemen, they could go with 9 offensive linemen.
Right.
So, something like that. They'll always do 3 tight ends. I'm sorry, everybody. They're going to do 3 tight ends.
Is Harrison Bryant going to stick around? Is he going to go? Harrison Bryant. Go.
No, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. 202,
you can find
folks.
Somebody better.
Hey, 202. We've hit the record books. Hey, where's the sound of great music right now? Celebration. We're at 205. Oh my God. I just want to, this is the biggest moment in Fanatical Elfz history. Okay, stop. Okay, bye. Okay,
they can find somebody on the 3rd day of the draft, a tight end. There are some really good tight ends in this draft, and they've talked to a couple already. So they can find a tight end in the draft a lot cheaper.
I'm so exhausted from watching this ticker go up. I mean, now we're 213. Come on now, folks. Keep going. We're going for 300. 300. Do I hear 300?
Oh, all right, come on.
Some free stuff. 214. It's Sam. It's because of your hat, man. People are tuning in to watch your hat down there in Texas. But it's been a stinky, rainy day down there in Texas, just to let you all know. Okay. What else have I missed?
Well, we talked about Flacco. We talked about the biggest need. I think Andrew Berry will restructure. He'll get these deals done on the download.
Yeah.
And then right before the league year starts, you'll hear about all the restructures.
Right.
So do you think
I don't know
Zadarius Smith it'll just depend on what Andrew does on Monday or Tuesday or whatever.
Defensive tackle is more of a need. I can't see him doing a stud defensive tackle and Zadarius Smith. I mean, Smith is going to be $10 to $12 million, and a stud defensive tackle is going to be in the $22 million range.
Right.
I just can't see that happen. If Andrew Berry could sign both, oh my God, I could not wait to see those contracts.
235, 238. Come on now, 239, 240. We're moving and shaking. Noah, go.
But then they also they have to do something about the wide receiver. I mean, you got a top heavy group. You got Mari getting 20, and then your next two guys are still on rookie contracts. So you got to do something there. And will they trade for a wide receiver? I don't know. Mary Kay thinks they're going to trade for Mike Williams, but I hear he's going to get cut.
Yeah, we've been talking about Mike Williams for about 3 years on this show.
Yeah, I know.
I've always been, to rewind back to the defensive line for a second, I've always been of the mindset that Zadarius Smith is coming back. It just depends how they can structure that money.
Yeah.
He hinted to it on Twitter before, like, especially when the Minnesota Vikings Browns joint practice thing came out. He was tweeting about it. He's basically been the best Batman to the Robin of Myles Garrett. I just see him coming back and that being a priority for this team, for the front office.
Yeah.
To keep that chemistry going for another year, 2 years. Maybe they do the 1 year, one year like they do with Anthony Walker, and they did with what's his name? Jadeveon Clowney the years before.
Do you think later on, after the free agency sort of settles down and Andrew Berry kind of goes through all this stuff with the big splashes and such, last year he picked up, like we just talked about, Elijah Moore in a trade. Do you see something like that happening again where Andrew Berry, they do these things and then they do another additional trade for another position that of need? Can you see that happening again? Anybody?
I could see that after the draft for sure, especially once they figure out what they get in the second and third round. Our 2 picks. I could see them 100% going for another receiver if they don't see someone they like fall to them at any of those picks.
What do we have?
Well, or they can do what they did with Amari Cooper. I mean, Dallas was cash strapped.
Yeah.
And they announced that trade before free agency started. If Andrew Berry sees somebody he likes and he's afraid they're going to hit free agency, he's going to trade for him. So it was like when they signed Dustin Hopkins before the cutdown date, before the season started. He went ahead and traded for him because they knew they were probably going to cut him and somebody else would take him. So if Andrew Berry wants someone and doesn't want him to hit, the open market, he'll make the deal for him.
Let me ask you another player that was in the news quite a bit at the beginning of the week, Russell Wilson.
Talking to the Steelers. You know what the Steelers told him?
Squealers!
He'd have to come in and compete. He'd have to come in and compete with Kenny Pickett. How do you think that's going to go for Russell Wilson?
I
think he's calling the Vikings right now going, hey, if Kurt goes to Atlanta, you want to give me a call?
What? Is Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta? You think that's where he's going
to?
That's
That's the other crazy thing.
Yeah.
ESPN has nothing else to talk about, so.
Yeah.
The whole quarterback linchpin for free agency is Kirk Cousins. How wacky is that?
Well, it'll be a very interesting couple of days, and we're going to be bringing you more coverage here. I think day one we'll probably have a show or two. I'll be talking to the guys. We'll bring that to you here in the Fanatical Elves. We just love the fact that you're tuning in, watching us on the X, watching us on YouTube. We got up to 271. We're giving away free stuff because you guys are tuning in. I'm not telling you what the free stuff is yet because I don't know, but we're going to give you some free stuff. So make sure you're following the show. If you follow and subscribe to Fanatical Elfz on the X and other places, you will be in a running for some free stuff tonight. So make sure you tune in, follow us, go to Spotify, go to Apple, go to all those iHeartRadio, tune in. We're there. Noah with his East Bank show with Matt, and Sam with his Browns breakdowns, and Steve with the Dog Pound South, and the Oracle Speaks Elliott, my God, he's not here. And of course, we got Lou Marconi and Jarrell Flint, who got their shows, the Browns, Burning River Browns show. So we got a lot of shows, and my Johnny Cleveland show. So, all right, I got this top 10 list.
Shows and more shows.
Top 10 list of past free agencies that have come, free agent best moves by the Brownies over the years. I wrote an article, Dog Pound Daily, a couple years ago, and just wanted your takes on these guys. We had at number 10 was Carl Dansby. Number 9 was Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, who was just cut by I don't know who he even cut him this time, but he was picked up by New England at one point early on in his career, and then came over to Cleveland. Had that rousing 2014 season where Johnny Manziel was his buddy and pal. Not.
So what about that here in Nashville? Biggest road comeback by an NFL team. The Browns are trailing 29-10 at halftime.
29-10. That's right, they were.
And they won 31-29.
All right, so Hoyer was number 9. Number 8 was wide receiver, Ohio State Buckeye. No, he wasn't a Buckeye. Where was he? Joe Jaravicious?
Joe Jaravicious.
Yeah. Was he a former
he was
Buckeye?
A great signing.
Yeah. Number 7, another quarterback. Anybody guess? Number 7, another good free agency pickup back in the day. He didn't have the greatest record, but he had some amazing games, including the playoff game back when they played the Steelers and Dennis Northcutt dropped the ball. Anybody remember him?
My buddy Kelly Holcomb.
Kelly Holcomb. Yep. All right. Number 5, a former tight end that everybody wanted his jersey for 1 year.
Gary Barnidge.
There you go. Gary Barnidge. I got to tell you the story. Gary Barnidge jersey. I tried to buy it off of one of those cheap foreign websites for our fan club, there in Wichita, and they sent the Gary Barnidge jersey with the wrong spelling of his last name. So there you go. Number 4, another quarterback, played back with Bernie. Anybody remember him?
Oh, Gary Danielson.
Well, Gary Danielson, but I had Vinny Testaverde. Vinny
Bam Boom.
Vinny. Number 3, how about, remember Jameer Miller? Didn't he play defense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 1994. He used to play for the Cardinals. Yeah.
Big signing back then.
Number 2, another running back. Played here. Also was a former Ratbird, like Joe Flacco. We had him for a year. He did some good things here.
Oh, I can't think of his name.
Played in 2007 with the Brownies. 2007. Were you born, Noah or Sam? Were you born?
Jameer Miller.
There you go. No, Jamal
Lewis.
Jamal Lewis. And finally, number 1, drum roll please, for in blank we trust. In blank we trust. Who do we trust? That was always the slogan with him. He was a kicker.
Oh, Phil Dawson.
Oh, Phil Dawson.
Phil Dawson. And Phil we trust. Yes.
The Hammer.
Now, he was actually
scored the first rushing touchdown in 1999.
Oh, my God. That's right. He did. Did he not? That's right.
A fake field goal.
Yep.
Any other free agents that you guys came up with in your own lists that the Browns have had a recent success with that you think was a good free agency signing? I mean, you look at somebody. Yeah. Noah.
Jadeveon was a free agent when we signed him the first time. I'll give Jadeveon for the first season if we're going one season like Lewis in 2007.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give Jadeveon some credit there. Anthony Walker's another one for the years.
Yeah. Steinbeck, the guard from Cincinnati.
That's right.
He was needed at that time, and that offensive line was very good when they got him.
Sam, can you think of anybody?
No, I can't. It's like, I think I can, but I can't remember his name.
Well, it started off badly when the Browns, they would take people like Andre Rison. that was, and that whole shindig, like Steve and I, we were all saying, happened because we did not get
Reggie White.
Reggie White. We were in the running to get Reggie White, a great defensive player for the. Well, he went to Green Bay, and so the Browns settled for Andre Rison, a fading wide receiver who ended up having his girlfriend
Bad Moon Rising
burn his house down.
What about Josh McCown? Some stability at quarterback through some of the rough years.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Trying to think if there's anybody else that we. What about I can't think of it now. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm just so happy that there are 292 people watching us right now because I can't think. All right, final thoughts as we get going into this free agency frenzy. Final takes. Sam, I want to start with you. What are your final thoughts as we wrap up tonight and think about what the Browns are preparing to do as we hit Monday? I'm excited. I get, this is kind of where the juices start going. The Browns you get kind of back in the flow of things after, we blew it last playoff season and, okay, so now we're back. Sam, final takes.
I just think the Browns need to have a half decent free agency. I've said it multiple times. I think the Browns could win 13 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could win 13 games. I think they could win the division. I think they could get the 1 seed. I mean, unless the Chiefs.
Here we go, Brownies.
The Chiefs.
296. Come on, folks. We got 4 more to go. Come on, Sam's talking. Tune in right now to listen to Sam.
I think the Chiefs weren't the 1 seed. Did they win 12 or 11 games last year? The Chiefs.
12.
They won 11 games.
11 or 10?
Was it 11 or 12? Baltimore
was
11.
Seed.
No, they won
2.
Yeah, they won 11.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they won. The Chiefs, as long as they don't improve drastically, like they don't trade for Devontae Adams and
One more
Tyreek Hill.
$2.99. Come on, folks. Who's it going to be? You're going to win something
I think
free.
The Chiefs aren't going to be the 1 seed. I think the Chiefs are going to be more of a team
300.
that kind of hangs around in the 2 and 3 seed, but is still insanely good. I think the Browns can be the 1 seed. I think home field advantage, all that fun stuff. I think the Browns are a really, really good team if they can just have a good free agency and a decent draft.
We all hope. All right.
I'm with you, Sam. I'm with you.
I got to take a picture. I got to take a
do
picture.
It quick.
I know it's going to go away. Stay there, 300. 300. Who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be winner of the free stuff? We've hit 300. Come on, 301. All right, keep it going. 400. We need 400. Noah, final takes on the night.
Tavondre Sweat for pick 54 from the Cleveland Browns. Ball's there.
I'm going to pick 54
all day.
He's
not coming to pick 54. He's getting drafted first round.
Justin Jefferson, is he a free agent?
No.
But you were talking about trading for him, right, Noah?
Yeah, so we did like a mock scenario of what, obviously the Browns aren't in the position to trade for Justin Jefferson, right? But what would you, as a fan or the GM of a team, trade for a player like Justin Jefferson?
Right. Yeah. I like your takes. I was listening to your show the other day. I really like your show. So tune into the East Bank show. Tune into Sam's Browns backers. They're both going to have their shows this weekend. Noah's doing a little bit of you're doing some mock draft stuff.
Yep.
Ooh.
Mock draft. Cool. We're gonna go over some news, talk about that beautiful game with Dean Wade, and that's also gonna cover.
Here we go, Dean. Here we go.
Spring training. So it'll be a good episode.
Dean Wade for president, man. I love Dean Wade. He's my buddy. I got, he's a great guy. Anyway, okay. No, we're looking forward to listening to your show with Matt on that. Sam, what are you going to be talking about in your Browns breakdowns? Do you know yet? Sam?
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I think, oh man, I think a lot of things apparently, because I just said it like 6 times. It depends on if Justin Jefferson, I think Justin Jefferson could be traded for. I don't think the Vikings are going to do that though.
Okay.
I think the Vikings are kind of hoping maybe they can tank this season, get a good quarterback, and then I don't know. But I don't know. I think Justin Jefferson is too good of a player to just let him trade him away.
All right. Steve, final takes on the night.
Oh wow! I'll probably put out a podcast on Sunday. My wish list.
Yes.
My final free agent wish list. Just keep an eye. I don't know why this is sticking in my brain.
Yeah.
And it's been sticking in my brain for a while now. Why Brandon Ayuk? I don't know why. I mentioned it on this show a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And it's still sticking in my brain. It sounds like an Andrew Berry move. He's not happy in San Francisco. Nope. San Francisco is going to have a lot of players to pay very soon.
I'd love it.
And so it's like a Dallas situation, like with Amari Cooper. So I don't know why that's sticking in my brain, but awesome. I'll go over who I want. I'll put some salaries to some names. We've got until then. You're going to see a lot more players cut.
Yeah.
That's we're
going to be bringing you
Sunday. I'll do what's that?
No, I'm sorry. I cut you off there, Steve.
I'll just do my last my wish list. C-Town Thugs wish list.
We're gonna bring you some extra shows this week, or I will. We'll just be posting when we get some guys to come in. We'll make sure to bring that to you so you're up to date with that. That's what we're trying to do here with the Fanatical Elves. We got a great group right here, and we got other guys that aren't on the show right now, but we're bringing you 6, 7, 8, 9 shows at least now. I think I counted, we're bringing you like between 15 and 20 shows every week between what everyone's doing. And so you want some Browns content, we got it here, and we got a variety of takes. I'm the crazy one. Noah's more objective, kind of. Sam, you're the youngster who's amazingly bright and all things hands down. And Steve's the mellow sort of, but he brings it because
he's
the tax guy. You're the realist. Elliot, the Oracle Speaks, brings his wild and crazy takes with his wild and crazy music. Lou is just your, gets on there every morning, kind of shares it how it is. And I love his takes on that. Brief, but brings it to you strong. We got Rod Bloom, who brings the Browns Blitz. Browns Blitz blew it up this week with their downloads. So thank you. Rod will be getting a couple extra pennies and maybe getting to eat a hamburger this week from McDonald's. So thanks. What else have I missed? You listen to my Johnny Cleveland podcast as I provide that. We're also trying to do some top 10 shows. So you guys, if you come up with any good top 10 topics, we're going to try to throw those on to some of our top 10 shows in the coming weeks. We got the draft coming up after free agency. That's right around the corner. Make sure you pay your taxes by April 15th, right, Steve?
Correct. Monday, April 15th. 6 weeks from this past Monday. March Madness.
Thank you to the 321 of you who are watching us right now live on the X on YouTube. You're amazing people. Spread the love. Tell everybody out there about us crazy fanatical elves. We'll see you next time. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
I'm not wearing my shirt, but go Browns.